Now I got a crush on you, my
Love me,
baby.
girl, love me
I got a
too.
crush on you, my
Love me,
baby.
girl, love me
I got a crush
too.
on you,
Love
my
me,
baby.
beauty
I
is
got
a
a crush
name.
on you, my baby.
Beauty
I
is
got
a
a crush
name.
on you, my baby. 'Cause beauty is a crush on you, my baby. 'Cause beauty is a crush on you, my baby. 'Cause beauty is a crush on you, my baby. 'Cause beauty is a crush on you, my baby. 'Cause beauty is a crush on you, my baby. 'Cause beauty is a crush on you. My baby's beauty is a name on you. My baby, 'cause beauty is a name on you. My baby, 'cause beauty is a name on you. 'Cause beauty is a name on you. My baby's beauty is a name.
What you doing? Where you at? Who you with? You are now tuned into the Heavy is the Crowd podcast. I'm your host, D.L. Malone. The artist, Most Blind. The brand, that's DelTha510. It's also the Cash App if you want to throw your boy a buck. That's DELTHA 510. Let's go. I first want to start by saying that I've been given a resource, a platform, and a foundation to express my thoughts and opinions based upon my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of this life here. All men were created equal in my belief, but we don't think, nor are we all treated equally. And my intent is to gain and deliver knowledge to those in earshot. Shout out to my main man, number 5, for blessing me with the beat. What up, world? We here. Heavy is the crowd, y'all. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Shout out to all my podcast pioneers prior to my arrival. Shout out to my loyalists and extremists. And shout out to my day ones in the last days. It's heavy as the crowd, y'all. So, along my travels, I come to meet very many interesting people. And this gentleman right here, I found to be very involved in the community. Taking things over 1 yard at a time. Yard boy. Whether it was cutting grass, feeding the youth, trying to give out supplies, morale boosts. If you're thirsty, he's going to give you drink. And I've seen a lot of his charitable work on social media. And then, here's my roses, where I really felt like I needed to speak with this man and have this man speak with you guys, was when I realized he had a same friend as I did. Rest in peace, Tink. And the things that I seen this man do for him, as well as others, I realized that this is a man that needs to speak to the crowd. This man has something important to say. He's about his community. He's about helping everybody do better. You know, I would like to introduce to you my main man, Urban Green. Give it up, y'all. My man, what's good with you?
I'm doing okay.
Thank you for coming to my show.
For sure.
Welly well. We had a beautiful day today, and you slept part way through it, huh?
I slept most of the day away.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let me give you some roses. All the charitable work that I see you do, I'm not the only one that sees that. You know, the HotFoods, the grass cutting. That grass that you cut the other day was right by my mom's house. That's what really got me. I was like, oh shoot, he's cutting the grass right next to my mom's crib. Like, oh shoot, he really out here, because I know that grass is tall, boy.
It whooped my mower.
Yeah, man. And then I seen you had a thing on there saying, hey man, it'd be nice to get this big old Weed Whacker 3000.
Right.
Yeah, man. So, you know, in the description is his Cash App. So anybody that would like to help us and our strive for greatness, you could start by throwing us $1, $2, $3, $5, anything you can through the Cash App. Praise the Lord, pass the plate. DelTha510 Baptist Church. Yeah. All right, my man, thank you for coming to my show. Hey, why don't you let everybody know initially who you are, where you're from, and what you represent.
All right. I've been in Steubenville now for about 4 years. I came via Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but
Shout out to my people in Pittsburgh.
shout out to them. I actually am from Front Street, Watts, California, and
Watts in the building.
came down to Pittsburgh because my mama wanted me to stay out of trouble. Her plan wasn't that good. So anyway, I ended up in Pittsburgh, did most of my life in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And in my growing up stages, I found myself caught up in a lot of the nonsense of the system, trying to be what the streets think that you should become.
As your adolescents and preteens, and even into your teens, I'm sure, right?
Right.
Okay.
So then, after I got tired of being bounced around in the system, I, got married, had kids, and then I wanted more for my children. I didn't want them to know me for what I was not getting to be known for in them streets.
Yeah, a lot of nonsense, a lot of ruckus, a lot of
Off the wall shenanigans, my mom used to call it.
yeah. Yeah.
So I ended up moving, like chasing my sister around. And rest in peace to her. A lot of people in Steubenville know her. She used to cook down the Legion. Her name was Crystal.
Crystal. Hey, rest in peace to Crystal, man.
She died of cancer. So
What did she have a nickname or some other?
No, she used to go out with one of her best friends, like when she hung out, was a guy named Nate Huff.
Okay.
And a lot of people know him. So
Okay.
they know her through him. And
I see.
it was like when she got diagnosed with cancer, I got closer to her because she always told me she didn't know when she would not be here no more.
Mm-hmm.
So she moved to Burgettstown up in Washington, PA, a little town up there called Slovan. And I moved to Avella, which is right down the hill from Slovan.
Okay.
So me and her would be close. And then Nate and her used to frequent Steubenville because that's where Nate's from.
Okay.
So she ended up moving down here. And so did I, because she was getting sicker.
Yeah.
And in her fight for life, I was one of the lights at the end of her tunnel. Because she was my little sister, and I used to tell her she can't leave me.
Right.
So that's how I ended up in Steubenville. Let's fast forward.
Okay.
I come to Steubenville, and I have a saying that your ghetto ain't no different than mine. Being from Front Street Watts, I seen a lot of ghettoism.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it go from being an all right place to being a horrible place.
Mm-hmm.
And it begins just like Steubenville is beginning. Different gangs, different shot callers, different mindsets, all mixing in one pot. And then the next thing you know, it's off the chain. So while I was sitting here, I was doing detailing.
Okay.
Mobile.
Car detailing.
Mobile car detailing.
Which is one of the many businesses that I see that you have right now. You're like you're like a Jamaican man. You know what I'm saying? You got all kinds of little interesting side jobs.
Yes.
And I'm someone who always says, man, you got to work to eat and hustle to live. Right. And those hustles you got, I'm sure, are definitely helping you live.
They helped me a lot.
Yeah.
So the way the food business got started was from the car washing.
Okay. Now, is there separate names for these businesses? You want to give them the names of what these businesses are?
The car detailing is actually called Custom Car Outlet.
Okay.
My food cart is nicknamed HotFoods on the Hill. Okay. My sister called it that.
Okay.
So it stuck. But it's actually under Custom Car Outlet. Okay. Because what people would do is I'm detailing your car and you would say, man, is there someplace I could eat around here?
Right here, right here.
Right
here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Don't
that.
go nowhere.
Right.
I need that $1 too. Right. So I opened up a little hot dog cart. And the people that remember when I started with a little stainless steel hot dog cart with an umbrella over top of it.
Yeah, and let me pause you real quick. That's where I initially seen you at or met you at. You know, long before this pod. You know, I seen when you were starting with those grassroots from the bottom up, and you know, not only did you make good food, I wanted to support, you know, a man, you know, trying to run his own business. So, you know, I got a couple plates from you, and let me say they were very fulfilling, delicious, you know what I'm saying, and prompt.
Thank you. So I go from there to the food cart, and then the food cart became my forte because my grandmother, I used to stay in the kitchen with her.
Okay.
So I learned how to make jerk chicken, curry chicken, stuff like that through her. Mm-hmm. So I added that to my menu.
And that's what somebody had said too. They said he got fired jerk chicken.
Right.
This is a fact.
Right. And then I turned around and I focused on that, and I let the mobile detail go for a second, just to get this cart where it needed to be.
Right.
Now, I'm moving around. Let's put it like that. A lot of people are inviting me to do different venues and stuff. So the cart is doing what it's supposed to do, and thanks to Steubenville for that. And to my supporters and my followers on Facebook, I salute y'all.
Man, shout out to all my Steubenvillans out there, man, doing their damn thing, man.
So after I did that, and I'm still doing that.
You went from the car wash thing to the hot dog stand to the food truck to what's next?
Come grab a bag on the Ave.
Okay.
And that was directed at the kids because I have a son. And a lot of his friends would come to my house. And
they were looking in the fridge.
right, they're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it upon myself to say, well, let's feed them.
Right.
And me and my wife, Tracy, a lot of y'all know her, started bagging up lunches.
Shout out to Tracy.
And she took over that part. Like, I don't bag another lunch.
Okay.
And I'm not mad that I don't bag another lunch. But she took that over. And she's like my helpmate, my best friend, the person that does things that I don't have time for real. So we started giving away 20 lunches, turned into 75 bag lunches Monday through Friday.
A day or throughout the week?
A day. So during school time, all the kids that walk by, I tell them, grab a lunch. Some kids be bashful. I say, man, take a lunch. You know?
Right.
They took them. And now it's every day I give away about 60. So it went from that to a lot of his friends would be hanging around at my house playing PS4 and listening to the little British YouTube guy with the bad language.
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
But most of the parents done heard it
Okay.
in the background in their kids' room. So they know who I'm talking about. So I took and said, well, why don't y'all go do something with y'allself? You know, like besides stare at the screen
Right.
and listen to this dude that y'all never going to meet again a day in your life.
Okay.
So my son said, well, what do you suggest we do? And I said, come with me. And I took him and start cutting grass with him. And the Adopt a Lot program was born.
Adopt a Lot. Tell me more.
It is a group of youths, and sometimes just me and my wife. We go out, and there will be a lot that is overgrown. I don't know who owns it. I don't care who owns it. I don't want to know if the city's going to cut it tomorrow. I purchased a ride lawnmower for this purpose. I ride right through it.
Yeah.
Blade down, goggles on,
Hunkered down.
go through it.
Yeah.
And then my son, who's playing football this year for Harding,
Okay.
after his practice, his mom goes and gets him and brings him to me. And I get off the tractor and I hand him the wheel.
Yeah, that's a good way for him to get practice driving something with four wheels, you know. Soon will be his driver's license, you know, driver's permit and such. That's a good way to get some practice.
Right. So then he finishes the lot for me.
Okay.
And then I got a couple other guys that come along. Shane pulled up. He picked up the trash out of one of the lots while I was fixing the belt on the mower.
Okay. Shout out Shane.
Right. And like people just show up and they'll say, how can I help? And sometimes I'll have to go back home and get another push mower just to get it, you know, to give them something to do, or a weed whacker or a blower.
Right.
And so we run around up on Pleasant Heights cleaning up lots.
Yeah.
And
On just Pleasant Heights, or you plan on expanding to other neighborhoods as well?
well, I did litter pickup on Ridge over across the hill
Okay, on Lay Bell.
on Lay Bell side. And that was a request on Facebook.
Okay.
The lady seen what we was doing and said, well, if you pick up litter in my mom's yard, they trash it every morning and da-da-da-da-da-da. And
Must be out in front of a bus stop.
I'm not sure why her yard was this bad. Like, it looks like they just turned that bin coming from school and all the kids just see trash. So they say, let's drop my trash here too. So me and my wife cleaned it up.
Okay.
And bagged it up and threw it in the garbage and we was out. But if you request it, I'll ride past it, and if it's in my capabilities, I'll knock it off. If it's not in my capabilities, I'll find why the city's not doing it or who it belongs to. Like I have my ear to the streets. Like I can reach out to the city councilman, Mr. Petrella.
Shout out to Mr. Petrella.
Right, and he's been He's been behind me 100%.
He's been very helpful in this process with the Adopt a Lot.
Yes, yes. And he, like, even like the other day, I was riding my mower from Lawson Avenue over to Park,
Okay.
over by Ridge.
Yeah.
And the police was sitting there. So people was like, police.
Yeah.
I rode past the cop. He did like this to me.
Right.
You know, they see what I'm doing.
Right.
They know I'm not out just racing my lawnmower around Steubenville. You know, I'm not trying to go on. I'm not on high-speed chases or nothing. I ain't just robbed the convenience store or nothing. So, you know, they give me my little leeway. And I'm out here trying to beautify. And my favorite saying, love where you live. It's not where you from. It's where you at.
It's where you at.
And like I told the councilman, I said, if you take a kid and you teach him to love where he lives, that's half the battle.
Pride of ownership is important.
That's half the battle.
Whether you're driving a beat up Dodge Neon or a 2020 Lincoln Navigator.
Right.
It's a level of private ownership.
Right. And once you own something, you have to live by that.
Yeah.
Now you stop throwing trash down. And you tell your friend, hey, don't do that.
Right.
So I feel we have to start there. And we have to teach the kids. And part of that is we have to give them a replacement for the things they're looking up to. And that's where I went wrong, because no one told me that my hero should have been my dad, who
Right.
was sitting at the dinner table with me.
Right.
I was upstairs looking out the window at little Turtle down there going from car to car counting his money. I didn't know my dad's money was different than his money. My dad's money was meal money, but it was paying the bills.
And it comes with a level of peace of mind when you get that kind of dollar.
Right. And you don't know as a kid that your dad's money is just as bulky as his money.
Right.
But he's flashing his money. When he's buying $200 jeans, your dad's paying $200 electric bills.
Facts.
It's a big difference. We don't see that, but we see this Cadillac sitting on Vogues with these hammers on them. My dad was just driving a Buick.
But it always had gas in it.
But it always had gas, the AC worked, and it was clean as a whistle.
Yeah. So with that, you know, you said you help with a lot of lots, whether it be litter pickup or you know, cutting the grass, weed whacking. My question for you is, you know, you took this responsibility upon yourself to try to make this city better, and you said you've spoken with, you know, people like Petrella and people in the city council and such. What do you think is primarily preventing them from doing a better job? And it has to be put in a citizen's hands that wasn't born and raised here.
I don't think that they're doing a poor job. I think that they're doing a job.
I don't think they're doing as much as you, though, when it comes to that physical labor that's out there. So I'm asking, what's keeping them from being able to accomplish that?
Again, they're doing a job. It's like saying, if you make $20 an hour painting a room, but you could paint that room in an hour, why would you? Why not spend 8 hours painting that room for $20 an hour?
It sounds like union work.
Right. It's a job to them. It's not like loving where you live as it is for me.
Yeah.
See, to me, I'm doing it because I like to do it.
So you telling me they don't like to help the community, or they don't love where they live?
How many of them live in Steubenville? Up on the hill. On Ridge.
Boom.
See, that's the difference. Each one of us live here. This is why I'm reaching out to people to follow my lead. I'm not asking you to get out there and cut grass with me. I'm just asking you, when you see some little kid walking around with a mower trying to make a couple dollars, that you say, I got 10 for you to maintain that lot over there. I'll do the tough part.
Right.
I'll knock it down and make it manageable.
Right.
Help me, help you, help the youth. If we all come together as a community, one tribe, we could take care of the whole village.
Right. I think there's a lot of people in this village that might not have that pride of ownership mentality, and you know, they're too busy yelling at their own kids as opposed to, you know, they don't want to yell at other kids. They too busy yelling at their own kids to pick up their room. You know, I think a lot of things start at home.
I do too.
Two-parent home's important. Not always, because if it's a toxic environment, then you know there's always exceptions to the rules. But yeah, back to that. So have those people in the city council, the Petrellas and them, you felt like they're doing a pretty fair job in assisting you with taking care of these charitable things that you're doing for the city?
Yes. Let me say like this.
Okay.
To extend your hand to someone you don't know takes a lot, because you don't want to stain your gloves. In other words, if you reach out to me and I'm a crook, what happens?
You'll become a crook, or you'll be labeled as a crook.
Right. That's what politics is about. So I'm not in this for help. Not from them. I'm in it for help from the community, people like me. Those people that see me every day, those people that walk past them lots every day like my kids, or grew up here and remember what it used to be like. Why can't we make Pleasant Heights look like Lover's Lane?
I see.
Again, if you love where you live, you take ownership of it.
True that.
Once you take ownership, you take pride in it.
Okay. I love how I love your admiration for, you know, wanting to do better, you know, on Pleasant Heights, and Lay Bell as well. How can people contact you if they want to be a part of the movement?
I often post my phone number right on my Facebook page, Urban Green.
Urban Green.
Yes. And it's 2 words, Urban space Green. If that's not there, or you really want to get in touch with me, you can see me out in the community almost every day. My food cart, I coach the Broncos up at Murphy's Field. I'm everywhere. And I don't hide what I do. You'll see me sitting out there laying on the ground fixing a kid's bicycle chain. Or you'll see me out there picking up trash on Lawson. Or you'll see me in the middle of some field that got weeds up to my hips. I'm around. I'm not a hard person to reach to. Like, I actually reached out to say, well, they were saying that the marina needed cleaned up. I reached out. You need help? Tell me. I'll put together my boys and we'll be down.
Yeah.
I think what Steubenville needs is a fresh start. I think what they need is people to erase the negative thoughts and start now with, tomorrow I'm going to do this. I've even reached out about putting a community garden up on Pleasant Heights. I've already acquired a lot. I've already talked to the owner of that lot, and he green-lighted it for next summer. So you'll see it.
You got a community garden that's going to be popping off on the hill
next summer.
That is a great beginning, because one of the things that we suffered from in the downtown locale area of Steubenville was, fresh produce, especially with La Presto's closing down. Now, I think they want a little over $100,000, $120,000 for that building, and the coolers is messed up. The produce section where they hold the produce is shot. It's going to all need replaced and such. So it was like the easier thing to do is just like, start a community garden. They have one down the road, like in the middle of town, downtown, but something that we definitely needed up on the hill was a place where you can catch fresh produce. And being able to pick a carrot from the ground and rinse it off, chop it up, and throw it in your vegetable stew is a whole different feels.
Right. And with that, I'm going to try to do a farmer's market at the community garden where there will be bags of fresh produce delivered, truckloads, and I'll be able to pass it out.
Okay, so you're going to try to grow it there as well as get it shipped in to distribute to the
people,
to the masses.
Right. While that's growing, because I don't want you to come get a carrot this big.
Right.
I need to let that marinate in the soil, do what it's supposed to do, and then at the end of its harvest, then we harvest it.
And that takes a lot of timing, a lot of patience, and people who care about the dirt that they come from.
Right. I'm certified in green infrastructure, though.
Are you?
Like when you hear Go Green and live roofs and tree wells and all that, I'm certified in that through Penn State.
Nice.
Right.
So you can definitely add some knowledge and wisdom to the youth to help them learn how to grow bigger carrots.
Right. And I'm going to assign certain group to the carrots, and I'm going to assign a certain group to the green peppers.
Right.
And so forth. And that will be their garden.
Now, mind you, we speak of carrots. We speak of, what was that you just said? What was that vegetable you just said?
Green peppers.
Green peppers and such. And then we talk about celery. But what's most important, what we need on that hilltop is them collard greens.
Collard greens.
We need some collard greens growing up out of that ground. Yeah. Praise the Lord. Pastor Plate, DelTha510 Baptist Church. So, once again, Urban Green is your social media handle where they can find you. Do you have any other social media sites that they can find you on or anything of the sort? Just directly there, hit you in the messenger?
There. Okay. HotFoods on the Hill is there too, but you would rather find me on Urban Green because I'm always on Urban Green.
Okay, but Urban Green represents, trying to clean up the lots for the, adopt a lot. It's foods?
Free lunch.
Free lunch.
HotFoods on the Hill.
HotFoods on the Hill.
Custom car outlet. Urban housing management.
Okay, so we haven't talked about that yet. What's up with the urban housing management?
Well, urban housing management is a corporation that I started, and I'm the CEO, of course. My brother is the vice president. And my wife is the secretary. And we run urban housing management in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I am cross-referenced into Ohio, but I haven't did any work under urban housing management down here as a construction company.
Okay, and that's what urban housing management. They got the T-shirts right there. Oh yeah, you can't see it because we in space and it's just going right through them. Space going right through them. We universal. But that's construction. That's what else?
Property management, cleanups, clean-outs, all that.
Okay, so what do they call that when they when like the bank forecloses the house and then you go in there and clean it out? Right. Like not rummaging but salvaging.
Yes, that's what we do up in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And the reason I don't do it down here is
because you need a license for that.
Yes, and it costs a lot. Like even though
annually,
I'm already registered in PA.
Right.
They won't let me cross the border with my registration up there. They want me to do it all over again down here.
I kind of understand where you're coming from with that because when you're in Ohio, it's like when you're doing type of box truck deliveries. This is my understanding. I could be wrong, but this is the conversation that I had with someone who owned a box truck not too long ago. They were saying, hey, you could drive around 28-foot box truck in Ohio and not have to worry about no CDLs or nothing, but you try to take that same 28-foot box truck, you live in Ohio and drive to Pennsylvania, they want a CDLs from you.
Right.
So it's kind of like the same thing.
Right. Steubenville is one of the hardest places to begin a business at.
Why? Why, Sway? How, Sway?
Cash. Everything down here is about a bankroll.
Yeah. Hey, scoot a little bit closer to me, my man, so they can see you. There you go. There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Get yourself-
Everything down here is about a bankroll.
Okay.
Like, do you know? Here's some wisdom for everybody.
All right.
To cater in Steubenville,
All right.
you would think my truck would be considered a commercial kitchen,
The hot dog stand or the food truck?
the food truck,
Okay.
right?
You would think it would be considered a commercial vendor?
A commercial kitchen,
Kitchen, okay.
because I sell food,
Right.
and it's a EIN number to a business.
Right.
So I would think if you have an EIN number to something that sells food and it has a kitchen in it, it has to be zoned a commercial kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Not true in Steubenville. In Steubenville, to cater, I need a whole building with a newly inspected commercial kitchen in it.
Up the code.
Up to code. Well, my truck got to be up to code, or I wouldn't be allowed to sell food.
Right.
Okay. Now,
So yeah, I'm confused on where you're going with that, but go ahead.
okay, so if I get a commercial building and I want to cater, I then have to go through the health department, $850 to get the license to cater.
Okay. But that's not catering from a food truck.
No, that's from my building. So now not only do I have rent for a building, or I had to buy a building, I have an $850 every year
Annual payment.
certification.
Ooh.
Okay, so now what's the difference between me sending takeout from my food truck or sending catered food, pans of food, to an event as though I'm a caterer?
Right.
What if you order 80 pieces of chicken, enough jerk chicken to feed 20 people, and 80 sodas,
Okay.
takeout?
Okay.
You see the wording? I could do that.
Yeah.
But if you call me and say, would you cater for 80 people?
They'd be like, nah, you can't do that because you're not licensed as a caterer.
Right.
But if they call you and say, hey, I need 80 pieces of jerk chicken on the takeout,
I could do it.
it's amazing how words,
Cost.
yeah, words
Right.
cost.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, love don't cost a thing, but it comes at a price.
Right.
You know?
But words cost just because you speak them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy because when I went down there to get where I could cater, they gave me what I needed to do.
They gave you the information on the steps that you need to take in order to do that.
Right.
And then did you question or did you repeat the same rhetoric to them that you did to me, like in the comical way of like, hey, this doesn't make sense. You hear what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. And did they look at you the same way? Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're not.
But this is the rules.
That's the rules. Okay, so now here's my other dilemma. When I first started down here, I was on Oakmont,
All right.
and I was giving away hot dogs to my customers. One of the neighbors called the health department on me, saying I was selling food. They approached me,
Who's they?
the health department.
Okay.
When they approached me, they gave me what I needed to do to sell my food.
From a house or from a food truck?
I had a stainless steel hot dog cart out in front of my house.
Okay.
So I took those steps.
Now, before you go on with that, those steps, would that step, a simple step for that, a hot dog stand, to be able to sell hot dogs, you would just need a vendor's license, right?
And a health department inspection.
Okay. Then that's just them opening up the shelves, looking in there like, okay, there's no black mold in here. Everything
Right.
looks clean.
Right.
Everything holds temperature.
And you got running water.
You got running water.
Yes.
On the food stand, you need running water?
Yes.
Interesting.
Right. I had all that.
Okay.
So Anyway, they passed it,
Okay.
flying colors.
Boom.
They were called again and came back again because the person was adamant that I was selling hot dogs from my cart. So when they pulled up, they said, "Oh, it's you. We already know. You already passed."
Right.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
But there was a hater on Oakmont that just didn't want you giving out food to the...
Right.
Didn't want you feeding nobody.
Right. And so what I'm trying to show you is it's when you say...
You can do anything you want if you word it right.
And if the city council wants to help you,
Mm-hmm.
then you got people that's throwing overhand rights at you.
Mm-hmm.
The city council don't want you to move and one of those punches hit them.
Ah, I see.
That's why they won't help a lot. It's politics. What if one of those overhand rights are right? And he stood behind you.
Yeah, and he stood behind you, and you just so happen to be quick enough to move out the way of it.
Right. And he gets caught.
So they don't get involved with a lot of that because they don't want to have to be the person standing behind the person in case they mess up and say, "Hey, yeah, I vouched for him."
Right. And so it seems like...
Because you could easily be like, "Oh, yeah, he did it.
Yeah. Or he told me it was
He
okay.
told me it was okay." Yeah.
Right. And that's why they don't help a lot.
Because they don't want to get caught up in the street politics of it.
Right. Because let's say they help Joe Smith with his business.
Okay.
And then come to find out Joe Smith's business is a front for a major drug operation.
Okay.
What happens to the politician who stood next to him and said, "This man here is great"?
Yeah.
What happens?
Like you said, they don't want to shake the hand of a stained glove.
Right. Right.
Hey, my last boss told me, he said, "Hey, DL, you could sell a frozen ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves. Why are you still here?" I didn't understand that until after I thought about it for a minute, but I guess he was just saying I had great customer service.
Great customer service.
Yeah. Man, so we're talking about cutting lots. We're talking about handing out food. We're talking about selling food. We're talking about the difference between catering and takeout. What else? What else?
That's about it.
Okay.
Oh, and your music.
Oh, yeah?
Your music is great, my man.
Hey, respect.
No. I'm telling you, keep up the good work.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Hey, if any of y'all haven't seen it already, go to my music page, DelTha510. I have 2 separate pages, one for the pod, one for the music. It's DEL, a space in it, THA510. It's a lot of my music of recent. I got more music in the tuck that's going to be coming out. And for all of my early music, my early discography that you can find with the Ghost Smokers, shout out to the Ghost Smokers. You can go to datpiff.com, type in keyword Ghost Smokers, 2 separate words, and about 10 albums are going to pop up for you to listen to and jam out to. That's the early discography of the group and I. Do you have any other businesses that you would like to start up along with the car washing, the takeout, the catering, the lots?
I would like
the urban housing development.
I would like to add into my program a Friday or Saturday night movie for the kids with popcorn and hot dogs for free next summer. I want to have a lot.
Get into the mic.
I want to have a lot where I have a big screen and a projector, and I show a movie every Saturday night where the kids could come, get their popcorn, get their hot dogs, and get something to drink and watch a movie.
That'd be dope. And you talking about an indoor place for this?
No,
Outdoor? Okay. Have you ever have you done any food vendoring at the First Fridays?
I'm there every first Friday.
Oh, so they could check you out there too, huh?
Yes, I'm down there every first Friday.
Word. What kind of food do you offer?
I have a smorgasbord to be a food truck. I have jerk chicken, curry chicken, chicken and gravy. I have
Chicken.
beef hot dogs. I have beef ribs. I have hamburgers.
Mm-hmm.
I have an old boy. Is my signature sandwich though.
Oh boy, is that something like a po' boy?
No, it's 4 tiers of mouth-watering beef burger with cheese, grilled onions, bacon, everything. Everything. And it's 4 burgers high.
You know what? And shame on you for not bringing one of those burgers in here for me to try out on camera.
See?
Now, see, this is what we can do to make up for that. What you can do is make one of those burgers for me, and I'll do a product review on it. Okay? Bring it to me hot and fresh. You know what I'm saying? We'll have you back on the pod again, you know what I'm saying, with your upcoming plans, and I'll sit here and eat a burger in front of the fans and supporters.
And then we'll do the jerk chicken
Okay.
one day, and we'll do the curry chicken another day. And by the time I'm done with you, you won't even fit out the studio.
Alibi Broadcasting right here. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Praise the Lord. Past the plate, DelTha510 Baptist Church. This is Heavy as the Crowd. You know, I'm all for that, and it sounds like that's about 3-4 more pods that we gonna have.
Right.
But before we go any further, let me give my supporters and spectators the word of the day. And let's see here. We're going to give them the word of the day. For all those that don't know, DelTha510 is the Cash App. If you want to throw your boy a buck, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be $1, $2, $3, whatever you could throw your boy some Bitcoin. Where it's going to go is right back into the game so I can give you guys exclusive content and do what I can to accommodate the guests that come on my show. You know, I like to have water for them, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, any type of beverage, a snack, a fruit tray, anything like that. You know what I mean? So that's where it's really going. Don't think I'm just taking any type of Cash App that you may try to send me and going out and buying dope with it or tricking on these hoes or no, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to level up in this craft here of communication. You know, too many people worry about, you need to worry less about how impressive you may be and concern yourself more with the impression that you leave. Oh, that was knowledge right there, boy. And that's what I'm trying to work on in the second half of my life. You know, we here now, Heavy as the Crowd. Everybody that's tuned in. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the word of the day, coming from your main man. Soy estafador, hambranito, en el dato social. Oh yeah. So, the word of the day, my people. If you can hear me loud and clear. The word of the day is... If you guys have seen in the description already, the word of the day is Skerrick. Skerrick. That's the word of the day. That is a noun. Skerrick means a small piece or quantity, semicolon, a bit. That's Skerrick, the word of the day. Yeah, man, for all y'all tuning in, I want to thank y'all, you know, donde quiera que estés, wherever you may be. You always got to remember to get vaccinated, or a vaccinated person might get sick from the virus that they got vaccinated against because you're not vaccinated, you know? Those are the kind of things we got to worry about nowadays. But yes, that was the word of the day, Skerrick. So just on some off-the-wall stuff, we're going to have a little bit of fun off the, you know what I'm saying, off the subject a little bit. Let me ask you something. If somebody was to come to you and be like, her name is Beth, Okay. Would you think that lady's name that is Beth, her full name would be Bethany or Elizabeth?
Elizabeth.
You would think that would be Elizabeth? Okay. But Beth could also mean Bethany too.
Of course.
Yeah, but you would think initially it'd be Elizabeth. What about them vaccines? Did you get vaccinated, or am I going too far in your HIPAA?
No, I didn't. And
Would you like to talk more about that, the reason behind it, why you haven't, or are you plan on doing that, or what? I always talk about vaccines every episode, and I myself, I haven't gotten one, but it hasn't been forced. I haven't been in a position where it's been mandated on me, and I haven't had a choice yet, but go ahead.
I feel kind of like we've been tricked.
We've been duped.
Yes.
Say it ain't so, Urban. Say it ain't so.
Lied to and passed by another.
Oh my goodness. Why is that?
Well, I kind of feel
Elaborate for me.
because COVID is COVID-19, which means there had to have been a COVID-1
Okay.
or COVID-2 or
All right.
COVID-3. Okay, and I feel that if they thought that that was such a threat, way back when it first was recognized
As the swine flu, pig flu, cow flu,
there should have been a vaccination.
dog flu, China flu.
They should have been a vaccine. Okay, so now we're in 2021.
Yes.
Say late 2020 when it first decided to rear its head.
Well, it was in the 19 that they said it popped up.
Right.
Okay.
So the U.S. actually started in 2020. Overseas was 2019.
Okay.
So I feel, how do you make a vaccine in less than a year?
They fast-tracked the vaccine of mRNA that they were putting in our bodies and be like, hey, we don't know what the side effects of it is yet, but, you know, if you take this, you ain't gonna get sick.
But people have been dying of pneumonia for how long?
And the flu numbers sure went down, huh?
Yeah.
When I was growing up, and I'm sure you're the same way and speak upon it if you would, I was always taught, whether it had been in science class, my mom's or whomever, all my elders would teach me, hey, you know, there's 1,000 different variants of a cold and a flu. That's why you'd get sick every year, because that same cold you caught last year isn't the same as this year.
And it's going to come back.
And it's going to come back.
Just a variant.
Just a variant. So why were we as a people so naive to think that this was going to be the only strain of COVID?
No. I didn't think that it was going to be the only strain of COVID. I told my wife and kids,
Yeah.
you can't kill off a virus once it's born.
Because all it needs is a place to hide for a little bit, and then it's going to change into another one.
And you got how many people around the world?
8 billion.
What makes you think that that virus ain't in one of those people waiting
to pair. That's what my Bluetooth says to me every time I get in the car.
Right.
Waiting to pair. So do you have any intentions on getting a shot down the road for the COVID, or you? What about your kids? What about your kids? What about the kids? Because, you know, they're trying to mandate that. You know, in New York now, you can't go to the restaurants. I don't think like the Foot Lockers, any type of performance venues. You can't go there unless you show the card that you've been vaccinated by one of those 3 vaccines. And one of those 3 vaccines was shown to cause blood clots that could kill you damn near instantly.
And we seen this coming when they was talking. Okay, let's go back to the beginning of COVID being spoke on in the United States. Why did Bill Gates step down?
Why did Bill Gates' wife leave him?
Right. At a time, he wanted to be something different. He's a billionaire. So now you want to be what's the word? Philanthropist?
Philanthropist.
Yeah. Like, how do you turn around and say, I want to speak to the people about COVID.
He's what's that word you just used?
Philanthropist.
A philanthropist that's trying to convince the phlebotomy people to jab everybody with these doggone needles.
Right. And guess what we learned way back when?
Mm-hmm.
The mark of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
And that we would soon be able to be scanned.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how they're going to soon find out we're not going to have a card much longer. We're going to have a chip.
Right.
And guess who's behind that chip?
Who's behind that chip?
Bill Gates.
Mm.
He is the one with the brain to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He made Apple.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who has the knowledge to put together a system in a computer that could count 8 billion people.
And IBM was doing that as well with the people in not Schindler's List, but all the people that was caught up in the Jews and all that time.
Right.
The Holocaust. That's what I was thinking of.
Right. So it's coming. And we're going to be where you need to be scanned to go in this building.
It's already to the point now that we have to show proof of vaccination to leave the States.
Right.
You can't leave the States now.
Right.
And I don't doubt, we'd be naive to think that there will be a point in time where there will be certain states that you won't be able to travel into unless you're shown,
And guess who will be able to go in them certain states without any problems?
Oh, they call them the sophisticated.
Right.
They call them the sophisticated.
Right. So guess what? Now they have their own state. Because now you can be denied
entry into this state. So then they're going to put all the sophisticated and they'll be able to live in the nice state like a California where the weather's nice all the time. And they don't care about them wildfires because all that stuff blows east.
And now let's go back to the Trump era.
Hey, don't you? Okay, go ahead.
What was he getting ready to do? Build a wall around what?
Mexico.
To keep what?
The immigrants, the illegal immigrants coming in.
Coming into where?
America.
Well, ain't they the same illegal immigrants that know how to tunnel?
Underneath and got El Chapo out? Yeah.
And no one knows where the dirt went? You make a hole, there's dirt.
Yeah.
They made a tunnel and there was no dirt nowhere.
Okay.
They could have built the pyramids with the knowledge that they had. How do you get rid of that much dirt and nobody noticed?
One bag at a time, one potato sack at a time. But since you opened up that wormhole, let's get into it. Now, I have no issue with the wall necessarily, but you know that over this past year, we've let over 1 million illegal immigrants into the states. Mm-hmm. And that's just because Border Patrol has caught them and has just let them go. And in the past few weeks, through the information that I've gained from both sides of the media, the left and the right, they said there's been thousands. You get at least 1,000 people a week that they're capturing and releasing who have COVID, and they release them in the States. They test them, find out they got COVID. They don't treat them because there's no treatment for it, really. You just get that shot, but that shot doesn't prevent you from spreading it or catching it. So they're testing these illegal immigrants when they catch them for COVID. They get caught with, they test positive for COVID, and then they just release them into the States, and they're just like, go ahead, go. So we've had 1 million illegal immigrants that has flooded at least into the States this year under the Biden administration. And, they're passing this variant around. But let me backtrack. How do you feel about the mandates that they're setting with the kids and the mask having to be in the kids and the individuality that you're taking away from children and the interactions that they have because they have to have a mask? Do you feel like children should be mandated to get the COVID shot? I mean, they are mandated as when they first enter the school system to get their MMR. That's the mumps, measles, and rubella, to get the chickenpox little thing. I really ain't heard nobody catch chickenpox in a while. Here I am going on a rant. My question for you, my friend, is, how do you feel about mandates in the schooling system for minors with masks and shots?
I think that is, again, something that I've been duped about, because we were told in the beginning that kids didn't catch COVID. Huh? I hear nothing.
But we were also told in the beginning that these shots that we take will help prevent the spread of COVID, and it doesn't. You know, players like Chris Paul missed 2 important games in the semi-conference finals due to catching COVID after he had already received the 2 shots that you're supposed to get from the 1 vaccine, and he still caught COVID.
Okay, and here's the other part that no one's asking.
Okay.
How do we know that these tests are 100% proof positive?
How do we know these tests aren't giving it to us?
Because I know a nurse that there were 6 of them, maybe 5, that cracked open a test kit, sealed it, and put it in the box to go to the lab. That test came back positive. They never swabbed anybody with it.
You know of people who did that.
I know people who did that. I also have a person in my family who works for UPMC who got a test. They sent her home from work.
Shout out to UPMC because they save a lot of lives from Steubenville, Ohio.
They said she had COVID, but they'll send the test out to the lab to confirm it. She went home. She was self-quarantining herself, and the second lab said, false reading. You don't have COVID.
Do you think children need to be vaccinated?
No.
Do you think they should be forced to wear masks in school all day long?
No.
Do you feel like the country needs to go back to remote learning for a partial part of the week?
No.
Just let them snotty-nosed kids up in the building and start teaching them. What about the elder teachers that may be susceptible and have,
Listen, when we were growing up, we caught salamanders. We swam in the creek that the sewer drained into.
So you played with salamanders and ate salmonella.
Right. I didn't have hand sanitizer. I wasn't germophobic. My parents used to say, boy, go outside. And I was outside till the street lights came on.
Facts.
And when I came in, her rule was, you don't go in that kitchen without washing your hands.
Right.
You better not open my mom's refrigerator and you ain't wash your hands. I've been in the streets and dropped my ice cream cone, looked around, made sure nobody was watching,
Yeah.
scooped it up, kissed him up to the big man upstairs,
Yeah.
and ate that thing.
It was like it went from vanilla ice cream to Rocky Road, huh?
Right.
Boom, boom. Hey, don't forget to tip your waiter.
And the thing is, we didn't get sick like that.
Right. I mean, I'm from the garden hose era.
Right.
You know?
And how many people drank off the garden hose with you?
Everybody had their mouth on it.
Right.
Everybody.
We didn't do a waterfall.
Nah, that shit was in your splat. Yeah.
So why didn't we get sick like these kids get sick?
I think it's through the evolution of man, through the air, the food, and the water, and the land that we touch. I think all those things, they evolve over time. And we would be naive to think that we haven't created, in a sense, more sensitive people. Autism is at an all-time high.
I think autism always been there. It's just now they have record of it. There was always a friend that we would be like,
Yeah.
don't play with Johnny.
Yeah. He'd have the one leg with the
Right.
He'd be walking on his toes.
But we didn't know what autism was, so we didn't mirror it.
It was
just normal. That's Johnny.
That's Johnny.
And better not nobody else tease Johnny
Right.
because he's from our block.
Who's Johnny? He says, and smiling a special name. Who's Johnny? Yeah.
You know, so I think what happened is we've created a world of soft people.
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, shout out to all the single moms out there that have raised men. But I definitely think two-parent homes is important, and I definitely think that some single moms have raised more feminine men as opposed to more sensitive men. And I think that's a fine line that we don't take special look at, you know. And, you know, men are born with the masculine and feminine energy. There's no doubt about that. You know, XY chromosomes, okay? So we're both man and woman, okay? But I definitely think that over a course of time, you know, specifically in my lifetime, that we've ran into a lot of single-parent homes that have raised a man that's more feminine rather than more sensitive.
I disagree. I disagree with that because there's always been single moms.
Yeah, right. But shout out to those single moms, because I'm not trying to single y'all out like all y'all's bad. Like, no.
I think what's going on is media.
Media? Absolutely.
Made kids, like when we were growing up. I'm 55.
Okay, I'm 41.
Okay. I didn't know what homosexuality was.
Mm-hmm.
No one taught that.
Right.
And if someone was that way,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we might have got the icy ball off the icy ball woman and she was a dyke.
Right.
I wouldn't know.
Right.
I wouldn't know because she didn't broadcast it.
Right.
Okay, now we get to media, social media, and the media of today.
That make that side of people more flagrant.
Right. And so you're awakening something in this boy that wouldn't have been awakened in my era. Like we were taught, if you fall, you don't cry.
Right.
Or you better not cry.
Right.
And you,
Or I'm going to give you something to cry about.
right, you quiver your little lip.
Yeah.
And you go run. Right. You didn't cry. You might have wanted to cry so bad. But you cut your eye at your mom.
Right.
She's looking at you tapping that one foot.
Right.
And you're like, oh my God.
And then you go outside where your friends are, and they be like, was you crying? They be like, no, mama was cutting the onion. She was cutting the onion.
Yeah, but nowadays, just like, okay, growing up, let's put you at 13. Let's put you at 15.
Okay, that's 95 all the way live.
Okay, in your school,
Uh-huh.
how many girls was holding hands with another girl?
You know, I wouldn't say much of any, but I will say this. During school, a lot of females would run into the bathroom together.
Okay, I'm saying, how open was it, though?
Oh, it wasn't. You know, it wasn't.
Okay, now let's come to 2021. Middle school.
They linked at the hip.
They got promise rings.
Oh, matching tattoos.
Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've made this acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And society says, don't you talk bad about Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
You better not use the G word.
Mm-hmm.
But then they teach us freedom of speech.
Right. But then there's repercussions that come with that freedom of speech.
I know a girl who worked at a store, and there was a girl who was becoming a guy working with her.
Yeah.
They all knew. So the girl asked the girl who was becoming a guy, can I ask you a question? And she said, I don't know. So the girl who wanted to ask the question went back to work at her station.
All right.
And the girl who was becoming a guy said to her, go ahead, ask me the question.
Mm-hmm.
She said, no, because I don't know if it'll hurt your feelings.
Suspense was killing her.
Right. So the girl said, no, ask me.
Mm-hmm.
So the girl proceeded to ask the girl, well, what do you do with the girl that you're with when you get to that part of making love? Because she hadn't became a guy all the way yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the girl went to the boss and said that there was sexual pressure being applied to her by the other girl and got her fired.
Yeah.
But if you know you're going to live that life,
You need to be open for ridicule, comments, criticism.
see, now we see like this.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to run around with blue hair,
Right.
eventually somebody's going to question what that means.
They're going to be like, yeah, what's up, Smurfhead?
Right.
Not Smurfette, but Smurfhead. Hey, I'll be here all week.
Right?
Yeah.
So you got to be ready for that.
Right.
It's like saying you're going to live in a house with no windows, but you don't ever want nobody to ask you,
Why you don't like sunshine?
hey.
Mm.
So I don't understand what's right and what's wrong no more. I look at it like you can't ask a drunk why he's a drunk, because it's insulting him. But he's falling out in the street in front of you.
Man.
But you want to be mad at me because I said, well, why
Why are you drunk? Yeah.
why do you want to be like this?
Right. Wow.
And I think media is our problem. Our kids are antisocial now.
Are they? Hold on. How can the kids be antisocial when all they are doing is on social media?
Antisocial is not about social media because you're making friends. It's like when you grew up and you had a make-believe friend.
Yeah.
You don't know that person.
Yeah.
You're got your headphones on, you're on your PS4 with your controller and you're talking to Herb.
Yeah.
Who's Herb?
Right.
I don't know. That's my bestie though.
Right. That's my yeah.
Me and my bestie going on.
I never met him before, but we're on at 6:30 every night on Grand Theft Auto.
And we're going to do 9 missions together.
Facts. But I ain't never seen his face.
Ever.
I got his credit card information and everything.
Right, they share
I got
that.
I got his Xbox Gold membership on my thing too. His gamer tags on my stuff. My stuff's on his stuff. But I ain't never seen his face in my life.
Right. And so that's not the socialism that I'm talking about. When I grew up, we couldn't wait to go outside and play football in the middle of the street.
Couldn't wait to get dirty.
Couldn't wait.
Man, I don't care if I'm in dress clothes or not.
Nah.
Boy, you better get in here and change them clothes.
Mom could send me to the store to get a gallon of milk, and it takes me 4 hours to get that
Man.
gallon of milk home.
I done got my ass whooped over that a couple
Yes.
times. Going to the store and to get some milk and bread and not come back till sunset.
Right.
And they're out there looking for me
Right.
in the Cadillac,
Right.
85 Birmingham.
And you out there on the goal line doing the chicken dance.
I'm out there on my Huffy. The bag of I done purchased the milk as soon as I got there, and it's been sitting on my handlebars since I got there. I'm playing Street Fighter arcade.
Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We wanted to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had a saying, boy, you smell like outside. I didn't even know what that meant.
Right. Right.
Okay, you made me go outside.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right? I've been out there all day.
Right.
Okay, these kids go to school, come home from school, go to their room,
Right.
and they text their mom, what's for dinner?
Mmm.
And mom texts us back.
Mmm.
Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn.
Mm. And then they send an emoji back.
Right.
On how they feel.
Right.
Do you think that making the students wear masks take away from their individuality and the social interaction that comes with being in school?
No.
You don't? You feel like that people could just be, it's not changing the level of social interaction? I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I gotta agree. Yeah.
I do, man.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the shots for the children either.
Yeah.
You know, that MMR, that shot, your little chickenpox shot, tetanus shot, yeah, that's all good. I'm no doctor. And you know, Dr. Fugazi, you know what I'm talking about, right? I don't want to say his name. Yeah, I don't want to say his name because we might get banned off of here and get a strike. Yeah, man, they've been copywritten me for all kinds of stuff. There's about 50 episodes. I should be on like episode 75 right now. And they done copywritten my stuff and was like, yeah, we're banning this episode. And I think it's all because of all kinds of keywords. And I'm like, man, I'm not even at 100 subscribers yet. But let me backtrack. To all 97 subscribers up to the point of this pod, I want to give you a special thank you 97 times. My 97 subscribers, thank you 97 times. But as we continue.
For real?
Yeah, so, yeah, man, you'll get banned for anything. They take keywords. It only takes a couple days for the algorithms to figure out what your words are, because now they got it captions it for you. So in a few days, you can look back at this and turn the captions on, and it's going to pick up the words that we're saying out of our mouth. Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? But yeah, they'll ban you for anything. So, so I like to call the COVID, I like to call it the China virus,
Right.
or the CCP virus.
Right.
And the doctor that has lied to us over the past year and a half, that's Dr. Fugazi, okay? Or Dr. Fuckery. You know what I'm saying? However you want to call him. But yeah, Dr. Fuckery done lied to us about that. You know, and we've gone through several press conferences that we've watched this man come up on stage. Wear your mask, don't wear your mask. Wear your mask, don't wear your mask. Get the shot, you won't get sick. Get the shot, you're sick. Oh, you're sick, don't get the shot. Get the shot, you know? And
I never told you that. To get the shot.
yeah, and here's the biggest one. Gain of function research was not conducted at the Wuhan lab, but we come to find out that their definition of gain of function research is taking a virus and making it more deadly, okay? That's their definition. But in actuality, the gain of function in a lamest terms is taking a virus and manipulating it so it can be contracted by other living species, okay? And that's what they were doing. So gain of function originally in the definition was making a virus more deadly, manipulating it to make it more deadly. So he was saying, yeah, we didn't fund gain of function research at the Wuhan lab and the China virus. I do that hand gesture because that's what Trump be doing, right. The China virus. And then over time, he was like, oh, yeah, well, we need to take these shots so you don't spread it. And then we found out we take the shots and you can still spread it and you can still catch it and all that stuff. But let me take a sensitive moment. I'm starting to get a little insensitive about all of this because many lives were lost because of this. So rest in peace to anybody who has lost a loved one to this China CCP virus. So, you know, it's all fun and games and we're on here trying to make it lightning and clown around a bit. But hey, let's face it. This present day that we're in is clown world. Welcome to clown world. Okay? Everything seems to be back asswards. But yeah, man, Dr. Fugazi lied to us. And now he's lying about his lies. And now it's like half of America is vaccinated now. Over half of America, allegedly. But yet those people can still spread it. And they're still contracting different variants. And we haven't confirmed if that vaccine will prevent you from, you know, severe adverse effects, you know what I'm saying, from contracting it. I'm trying to use all these big words that sound right. You know what I'm talking about. Cut out. But yeah, I don't know. What's your final thoughts on the vaccine?
I just don't trust it. That's me. I don't trust.
That's that. You know, the first thing that I thought of when you said that was Public Enemy. Can't trust it. Can't trust this. Can't trust this.
But I mean, think about it. Everything that we're learning.
It's coming out to be a fallacy. Or,
well, we thought. But they never say we thought. We tried, but swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. They don't want to admit that.
They don't say we made an error. They don't say that.
They claim it to be a foul tip.
Yes. Yes. And everything is wrong. Like, it's not right now.
Right.
And like you said, how do we know that H1N1 wasn't a variant to COVID?
Quite possibly it was.
What about the bird flu?
The SARS.
The SARS.
The Zika.
The Zika. All could have been stages leading up to this last variant that they weren't prepared for, which was the big boy. Now you at the big boy, lives are lost.
Mm-hmm.
A moment of silence. What comes after that?
COVID-22.
Is they gonna call it that though?
They'll find a new name to be the fearmonger the masses.
Right. In other words, H1N1 could have been COVID-1.
COVID-1, yes,
But
absolutely.
they didn't call it that.
Right,
And then it went to the bird flu.
right.
And then it went to SARS.
And
And then it went to
Zika.
And then it went to COVID-19.
And all the while we're dealing with earthquakes, wildfires, and oil spills.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Live ticker. That shit should be at the bottom.
Tornadoes are landing in places that tornadoes never hit before.
They're fine-tuning the spots they drop.
Right. Think about it. Now that you have to account for the lives that were lost, you say COVID-19 is where we're at. And then you turn around and you say there's a variant because you thought you had it under control.
I don't think they thought they had it under control. They knew because just like I said to you earlier, we would have been naive to think because we were raised to know that colds have a different variant every year. There was thousands of different variants of colds and flus. So we were so distracted to think that this is going to be the only COVID, and little, truth be told, if we would have used our common sense, we would have realized like, hey, this one-time shot that they're trying to give us is going to turn into a two-time shot, which is going to turn into like a every 6 month shot. This is a booster shot.
To them shots ain't no good. We're going to come out with a new shot.
And then turns into this shot is making your child grow 7 fingers on each hand.
And everybody is turning blue. And what do we tell them? Well, blue is good.
Blue is good. That's the color of the sky. That's the color of clear salt water. So everyone's going to be okay.
Turn blue.
I guess that was one of the side effects when people would consume too much colloidal silver. You ever heard of that stuff? Colloidal silver. It's a little stuff that they have in a little drop, and you would drop a little bit in your mouth. It was like something that people would use to, I don't know, flush out mercury or do something. It would have like important minerals or something in it. People were promoting it at a point in time like they were sea moss. But
So what happens when the rich people? Okay.
the rich people ain't getting shots. Didn't you see Obama's party?
Okay. If you turn around, what happened to the fight against AIDS?
What happened about the fight against cancer? We done found a vaccine for a doggone COVID in 6 months, but we've been working on cancer and AIDS and the syphilis and Tuskegee stuff and yeah.
Well, and you haven't heard no more about that stuff.
We just got over the Black Plague back in the day, back in the early days. They just got over the Black Plague. There was no vaccine.
No, there was no vaccine. And here's the thing. I don't know no virus that has a vaccine.
Isn't the chickenpox a virus?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know one.
Interesting.
Because when you turn around and you say a virus, a vaccine, there's too many variants that's going to come from it. Okay, the pneumonia. How long has it been around?
Ever.
Why ain't there a vaccine?
Cut out.
How come there isn't a vaccine for
Syphilis.
herpes zoster? That's shingles.
Yeah. Why ain't there a vaccine?
Oh, there is a vaccine for shingles.
Not for herpes, though.
Not for herpes, though, but shingles is an off-brand form of herpes, not the herpes like sexual transmitted disease. They call it herpes zoster.
Right.
I caught that stuff at 30. It was miserable.
You understand what I'm saying, though?
Absolutely.
Where is all the research and vaccines for the stuff we already had?
They're losing a lot of people in India from this variant of COVID. And like you said, they were so quick to make a vaccine for, this COVID, but all these other ones that we had, they wasn't worried about that. They wasn't worried about no vaccine or a shot to get for this anthrax,
And do you know that most people who died that's on the list that they passed,
Did they die of COVID or from COVID?
it's symptoms underlying chest filled up with fluids, their lungs, heart attack, pneumonia, blood clots.
Brain aneurysms.
Right. They never really said COVID killed them. They say complications related to COVID.
So like I said, they couldn't tell you if they died of or from.
No.
It's just underlying conditions that COVID attributed to.
You go in, they say you got COVID, and then they keep you in the hospital and you get diagnosed with pneumonia and you don't recover.
What do you think about space?
The final frontier.
The final frontier.
To boldly go.
Is there anybody on the dark side of the moon?
Probably.
Probably. We'd be naive to think anything else.
A dark-skinned nigga.
Now, here's the thing. Real quickly on that. I don't know if you've ever done the research on it or seen the videos of they saying that they had found a spacecraft of sorts on the dark side of the moon, and it harbored a woman in it that seemed to be frozen in time. You know what I'm saying? Snot was coming out of her nose. She had like some stuff attached to her face or eyes or whatever. But the woman that they said it was a woman that they found in that spaceship on the dark side of the moon. They said that, the woman was like dark skinned, like a Filipino almost. And I seen one of the pictures that they had posted of it, and call me crazy, but she looked like a dark skinned North Korean. Okay. It just looked like that to me. I don't know. But
do you believe that they've been to the moon? Pull up the picture.
I guess they'd have to.
Pull up the picture.
The picture of what?
With Neil Armstrong and them standing next to the American flag on the moon.
Okay.
I need to ask you a question.
Okay. What about that flag moving?
I just want you to see some stuff.
Yeah. Okay. See, look now, we done got in here. He was apprehensive at first and wanted to get warmed up to the mic. Now this cat's on here asking about the dark side of the moon. You see how we do it. Heavy is the crowd.
Cut out.
Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. Okay. First
We want
moon.
him walking on the moon.
Walking on the moon.
Yes.
Okay.
Right there.
Right there. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got here? Let's see what we got. For all my people that's tuning in, hey, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. We're out here trying to spread positivity, have some laughs, talk about some serious subjects, and now that I got my man here, we gonna be doing product testing, baby. We're gonna try that massive burger he talking about on the next show.
The old boy.
The old boy. Boy. Oh, boy. Let's see if this doggone stuff will play. My internet's acting fugazi. It's acting Dr. Fugazi right now.
Okay, everything's nice and straight in here.
Okay. Now you guys can see this at home. This is 3 hours long, my man. I need to find a shorter one.
Yeah, we need to go where he's standing next to the American flag.
Okay. Let's see here. My stuff is moving strong.
It ain't typing. All right. Armstrong standing
It'll pop up here in a second. I typed all that in, and it's just moving really slow for whatever reason. I don't know.
Somebody's tapped into you.
Yep. Man, I won't be surprised they're going to ban copyright my stuff for something. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to it. I went on a beautiful 3.5-hour pod one day, and we were going in on all kinds of subjects. And as soon as I got done, I went back and reviewed the video. They had the red line on it. They was like, we will not be showing this anywhere.
In the world.
Anywhere. This is banned. This is banned everywhere. I'm like, man, the people in China can't even understand what we saying. Man. Oh, they acting fugazi with me, man. Look how slow this is moving. I don't know what's up. Maybe we got to come back to it.
Yeah.
Maybe we got to come back to it. We got through a lot of the important stuff. Look at that. Bucking on me. Yeah, we'll have to check that out on the next one when I got better service. You know what I'm saying? We'll just fall back from that. But we could discuss it quickly, you know. Yeah, the flag moving on that moon, that was a little sus.
And the shadows.
The shadows a little sus.
There's
But
no sun.
But they were using a 33 millimeter camera or something that was, you know, what you would consider nowadays to be well outdated.
Right.
So while they were doing their photoshops or what have you to clean up the footage, you know, they could have accidentally clicked on something or maneuvered something, or, you know, that film isn't of high quality, so we could see shadows that may not really exist.
All I'm saying is it was too clear,
Mm-hmm.
too perfect. It was like a movie script.
Yeah. I done took pictures that look like that good, and I was wondering how I could do that. So
Look at the year, though.
yeah.
You got 3 lenses on an iPhone now, moving up to 4,
So
maybe 5.
to go back to what you were asking, you know, do I think that people got on the moon? Yeah. How many times? I think just once. Just once, and they found some stuff that they did not want to see. They wanted to go up there, and they got up there and landed on accident. And the one time they went up there and landed there on accident, they found some stuff that scared the bejesus out of them, and they flew right back, had a little vial of moon dust with them, and they was like, yo, I can't don't send me back up there, bro.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Okay.
The space shuttle,
Okay. Which one?
the newest one,
Okay.
takes off like a rocket, lands like an airplane,
Okay.
like that.
Right.
Wheels come down,
Mm-hmm.
lands on a runway out in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
If we've been to the moon, what good is the space shuttle? You ain't got a runway on the space shuttle. So the original style rocket where they landed like this,
Mm-hmm. Right.
set it down.
Right.
Why do you leave that design to go to something that you're only able to float around in space in?
Well, I'm no astronomer. I've made astronomer wage per hour before, but the thing that shuttle, I forgot what they called that. It wasn't Discovery. Discovery was the one that blew up, but the one that you're talking about that flies into space like a rocket and comes back like an airplane. The sole purpose of that plane was for the space station. That wasn't necessarily meant to land on the moon. That was there for space travel to get to the space station, and they utilized the arm that's inside to, drop off goods, add attachments to the space station, things of that sort. So when they created that shuttle there, it wasn't for the purpose of landing on another planet, though they should be able to and could be able to, and they possibly may even do so, use a lot of the specs of that shuttle for their new craft that they use to land on other planets or moon rocks. But to answer your question, I'm pretty sure that shuttle was built solely for transport to and from the space station, because that was their primary goal after they had landed on the moon with those vase-shaped crafts.
Right, but wouldn't you want to be able to intertwine that vase-shaped craft into the newer space so that, okay, we got one that takes off, we know how we're going to land it, so this Vase one can leave off of that one, go to the planet, set down.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it goes up, we lock it back together again, and we come down and land. Instead of spending billions and billions of dollars to create something for only one use.
Well, yeah, that's where Elon Musk came in, and Bezos with those private companies of those rockets that are able to shoot up to space and then come back down and land, and they're able to reuse it again. They use that rocket that Elon Musk created to shoot up to take supplies to the space station without having to use that big shuttle that we spoke of that's like an airplane. You know what I mean? So they've created rockets now. Elon Musk got those rockets that are being reused. They're reusing them rockets, setting them up to space, and the top breaks off and it flies towards whatever, and they drop off whatever they got to do. And the fuselage of it comes back down to Earth, and it lands straight up and down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Ocean.
No. They don't have them land in the ocean anymore. They land on, well, yeah, you're right, in an ocean on a platform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure soon they'll be landing on large masses of land as opposed to like platforms that they have out in the middle of the ocean. But I can understand that because that minimalizes, you know.
If you miss.
Yeah, if you miss.
You hit the ocean.
Right.
You're safe.
Right. Well, so much safe because, you know, all that junk in the water does something just like Fukushima, but we ain't even get into that, you know? We could go all day about these conspiracy theories, you know, but my sole purpose was to get you on to talk about, you know, community and positivity and things that we can do to uplift and make a better place for the locale that we're in. And I want to commend you for the work that you've done. I don't know if I said that in the beginning. I tried to give you a couple roses, this, that, and the other. But I definitely commend you for the work that you've done up to this point. I admire it. And I also myself want to try to find a way that I could help you add value to what you got going on and get your create a bigger outreach. You know, one more time for the group, you want to give them any handle that they need to know in order to get in touch with you if they want to be a part of the movement?
Yes.
Make sure you're talking to the mic.
Facebook, Urban Green, 2 words. Any donations is $, capital H, HotFoods with a capital F on foods.
Okay.
That's
the Cash App.
And I also accept Venmo under Grab a Bag on the Ave.
Grab a bag on that.
Any food donations can be dropped off at 536 Lawson Avenue. Juice boxes, snacks for the kids, basically. And any money that I receive on that end goes toward the meals for the kids. And like I said, school's about to start back. I got Grab a Bag being at least 80 to 100 bags every Monday through Friday. As far as the Adopt a Lot program, it's getting ready to be fall. The lots ain't gonna grow as much.
But the people's going to need their yards raked.
Yes.
Leaves.
And my boys will be out. So we be out picking up trash. If something's littered extremely bad, like in your area, and you want it cleaned up, give me a shout out on Urban Green on Facebook, and I'll try to get my people out there to pick all the litter up. We got to be careful with those garbage bags and those cans in the alleyways because the raccoons and the cats get to them, and it brings more rodents. Next thing you know, you got mice or rats, and you wonder why. It's because we're overpiling the garbage cans.
The cockroaches.
And the cockroaches.
Dig at me.
And you got to remember that the city does offer one-time fee, extra garbage cans, and they're $50 or something like that. But it's a one-time fee. You don't have to keep paying for it. So if you know your family's overflowing your garbage, put that money out there. It'll help in the long run. Some of us got pets. We don't want the raccoons around. And I know you don't want to walk out your back gate or through your backyard and it smell like a swamp back there. So
Swamp back.
Right.
Boiled rhinoceros toe. Yeah, I got them jokes all day.
So we really need to come together and keep this place clean. I told you, you gotta love where you live. If you don't love where you live, how you gonna get out of anything if you don't put something into it? And that's where I'm at with it.
You see the hat, you know what I'm saying? Cleveland Indians. I told y'all I was repping the Indians. You know, I'm not changing the name to Gladiators. I'm going to keep calling them the Indians. I got plenty of more Chief Wahoo hats. I know I was calling it Yahoo on the last episode, but y'all know what it is. Come on, quit playing with me. I say learn all the time instead of teach. So, yeah, man, can I give you, we're going to conclude it up. You want to give some positive words to all the listeners out there, the supporters and the spectators. Would you like to give any positive words to them? Any last thoughts?
My positive thought that was given to me when I was making my vital change in life: have a plan or plan to fail.
Man, that was short and sweet, bro. That was short and sweet. I like that, definitely. I'm going to take that with me as I move forward. All right, y'all. We're going to leave some of the we're going to leave y'all with, you know, this right here. He'll be back on. We're going to be doing product testing. He's going to bring me an oh boy. Okay? Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, push the notification button. I don't like to leave preemptive strikes on my social media, letting you know when people are coming on, because so many things be happening and time constraints. You know, everybody, though we have world time, Eastern Standard Time, you know, Western Standard Time, all them things, Central Standard Time, everybody's kind of moving off a different time, and I don't like to fail my guests or put any added pressure onto my guests or my listeners by making them have to tune in at a certain time and we can't make it. So, you know, if you hit the bell notification button, you'll know as soon as I come on. And I do lives primarily. I'm working into some other skits that we're going to be doing here soon. I'd like to tell you about it, but I don't want to let the cat out the bag per se. Some funny skits going on, some funny things that we're going to be doing around town. There's a lot of stuff going on my music channel here soon. I got some dope artists that's going to show up. I got two dope guests coming on. We got two of them things. Two dope artists coming on here real soon. So the only way I'm going to build, we're working towards 1,000. We're at 100 now. I'm sure we'll be at 100 after this show. You know what I'm saying? I hate to foreshadow such greatness, but, you know, when you're doing good things like this man is, and like what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to follow suit with the people that I see next to me doing great things. There's some really good stuff that's coming up. And please, guys, if you would donate, it's going right back into the game. Whether it's going to him or it's going to me, it's going right back into the game so we could provide you guys with positive things for the community and more shows like this. So next time you see us together, I'm gonna be doing a product test on the oh boy. So yeah, man.
And Tracy's mac and cheese.
Tracy's mac and cheese. That better not be no Cracker Barrel out the box stuff.
It ain't no Cracker Barrel out the box.
All right.
You always want the secret ingredient.
No, I don't need the secret ingredient. I need my mac and cheese when I smell it. I need my mac and cheese to stink. Good mac and cheese stinks. It does. Think about it.
It smells really good. It smells like cheese.
You ever smelled Limburger cheese? Hey, man, I ain't gonna keep y'all on too much longer, man. We're gonna be back at it here real soon. I got some really special things coming up, guys. You just have to bear with me, subscribe, share, and like, all right?
Subscribe, share, and like.
Cut out.
Hey, thank you, Urban Green, for coming to my show. I look forward to having you on again and trying out some of your product. It's your main man, Most Blind. It's Dion Malone. It's the Hungry Hustler, the Social Misfit. You got to work to eat and hustle to live. Thank y'all for tuning in.